bets on a budget. Like we said, going to give you 5 bets. If we can hit on at least 3 of them, we'll be happy campers. I think we'll end up hitting on more. Let's go. Okay, Arizona plus 5.5 versus the Chiefs. So they're at home, right?
Yeah.
And giving a home team who has Kyler Murray, which is a really talented quarterback, good amount of weapons. Now, granted, D-Hop is out, but he still has weapons. He's got Hollywood Brown, Rondale Moore. I think they still have A.J. Green. Don't quote me on that. They have Zach Ertz, though. They have plenty of weapons, and 4.5 at home with that amount of weapons is a lot of points.
It is.
And the Chiefs are good, but they do have a lot of new pieces, so who knows how good they're going to be. And plus, it's minus 105, which is, those are decent odds. Given that Arizona is a very talented football team, and they're at home.
Yeah.
So I think Arizona's the right side of the bet here at plus 4.5.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, especially week 1. Both teams aren't going to be like up to mid-season level yet. So you're going to have mistakes both ways. You're not going to see mid-season level Chief football.
Right.
So, I mean, these games aren't going to be finishing with, crazy. I mean, unless it's something like, the Ravens and the Jets. That's something that's get out of hand quick.
Right.
But in a game like this,
it's gonna be a
are
close
a
game.
very competent team with a very good young coach.
Yep.
And, playing a really good team in the Chiefs, but definitely close.
I think it'll be a close game, probably a 3, maybe 4-point game.
Yeah.
Which is, again, still under the 4.5. All right, Pittsburgh plus 6.5 at Cincinnati. That's a minus 115 there if you throw some scratch on that. So you're not winning a whole slew of cash, but throw it in a parlay, who knows? Again, that's a lot of points, especially for a division rivalry. Mm-hmm. I don't remember the last time. I think maybe like once in the last 5 years, Pittsburgh's been blown out by Cincinnati. And that was when we had Big Ben at quarterback who couldn't do much offensively, right? He couldn't do much off script, couldn't do much down the field. 6.5 for a divisional game, especially when Pittsburgh has a good defense like that. So they're not going to run the score up.
That's what I was just about to say.
That's a lot of points for me.
Yeah.
Early in the season, divisional game, good defense. That's a lot of points.
Look,
I'll take Steelers.
Cincinnati's offense is great, but you can't ignore the fact that their offensive line is still not all the way up to par, and the Steelers' defensive line is absolutely astounding.
100%.
So that's a matchup. That's a big mismatch that the Bengals are going to have to deal with. Now, I don't see the Steelers winning. I still see our offense being a little lackluster. But here's the thing. Is Kenny Pickett really that much worse, or is a Mitchell Trubisky really that much worse than an aging old Ben Roethlisberger?
No, I'd argue they're better. I'd argue they're better.
So, I mean, look, I like the bet. I don't think Pittsburgh's going to win, but keep an eye on it.
It's a decent, against the spread, it's a good bet. All right, Denver minus 6.5 at Seattle. Again, another minus 115 there for the scratch. Look, Seattle's tanking. I mean, they're tanking. They don't really have a singular position group besides safety that I can point at and say it's above average.
Yeah.
Their backs, I think, are weak with a rookie at starting there. Their wide receivers are decent, but they have Geno Smith distributing the football to them. Their DBs are not very good on the outside. They don't get a pass rush. Their linebackers, after letting go of Bobby Wagner, are pretty weak. Denver is stronger at almost every single one of those units. I think Denver wins by about 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be close in that one.
I don't see it.
Denver is one of the most talented teams.
Not to mention they have a pass rush and Seattle doesn't have a line. So
that's a big one.
Yeah.
Kind of a worry.
That's a factor. That's something to look at there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is.
Games are often won and lost in the trenches, and I think Denver has a better unit on both sides of the ball.
I 100% agree.
All right, Rams plus 114 on the money line versus Buffalo. So I like the Rams, you like Buffalo, but regardless, you can't ignore the plus 114 for a home team.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl champs being dogs at home is pretty rare. And so now, granted, even if you like the Bills, it's at least worth maybe a back bet, right? So maybe you risk parlaying the other 4 as a back bet. You throw it on the Rams. Who knows? It's an idea.
Look, I like Buffalo, and that's just because I'm trying to predict who's going to win, right? I'm trying to predict the outcome of the game. But if I'm in the business of making money, which I am, I'm going to throw a little bit of scratch on that bet. Because, I mean, like, you're right. How often is the home team the underdog?
And especially the Rams. Like, when the Rams aren't going to be a dog in a lot of games. This actually might be the only game they're a dog in.
Crazy.
You got to jump all over that.
I'm going to jump on that. I'll put my money there for sure.
All right, final one here. Green Bay and Minnesota over the 48.5.
Oof.
That's a minus 110 there. So here's the thing about that. early season, these teams match up. It seems like the past 3 or 4 years they've been the week 1 matchup, or at least really, really early in the season.
Yeah, they always
and
play.
they've put up crazy points. And so that's been with Mike Zimmer as a defensive head coach.
Yeah.
Minnesota's been putting up points. So I think now with Kevin O'Connell, they're going to put up points. They have Justin Jefferson. They just actually got Jalen Reagor, who I think is pretty not very good, but it's at least another weapon. He's a speed threat down the field. Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
And then Green Bay, like you said, Aaron Rodgers is still going to be able to put up points without Devontae Adams. Now,
Absolutely.
granted, do I think that's super sustainable over 17 games? Not really, but he's going to be out there with something to prove. I can play without Devontae.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I see Minnesota winning. We both have Minnesota. I see like a 34-30 type of game.
Big,
right?
big points. Yeah.
Yeah. At worst, like a 31-27 feel, right? It's going to be a lot of points. They're going to get probably over 50, which, of course, is over 48.5, which would satisfy our over-under here.
That's a good one. I like that one, too.
That one's good. So we got a little bit of